Hey, Steve Stine here, and today what I'd like to do is talk to you about strumming with dynamics. It's really important to learn how to utilize dynamics when you strum. Now, what do I mean by dynamics? I mean you're strumming louder and softer in different places, and I'm even going to go a step further and say you strum more or less in different places as well. So let me start with the loud, soft thing. So if we think about it, let's just take a G chord, however you play G, okay? So I've got this G chord here. And what I want to do is I want to learn how to strum this thing and try and implement loud and soft in different varieties when I'm strumming, because it's those kinds of things, just like when I talk. If I did the Ferris Bueller thing and I just went Bueller, 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 after a while everybody just falls asleep. You have to learn to use dynamics in your voice when you talk as well. Okay, dynamics for us can be loud and soft, but it can be, a questioning kind of voice that you're using, or an aggressive voice, or a very gentle voice. And strumming is really no different. Strumming is your speaking or your singing. The chord does nothing on its own. Here's a G chord. You can't hear it. You don't hear anything until you implement your fingers or your guitar pick onto those strings. And so what I want you to think about here is just real basic ideas of dynamic strumming. Let's just take beat number 1, for instance, and try and strum it a little bit harder, like this. 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, as I'm doing this, I'm not concerned about, I know I've got 6 strings that I can strum. And I'm not just concerned about strumming all 6 strings all the time. What I'm concerned about is that my first strum is bigger, it sounds bigger than my other 3 strums. So those other 3 strums, I might be strumming less strings as part of it. I'm not consciously trying to hit only 2 strings or only 3 strings or just these 3 strings. I'm just strumming less. I'm strumming less volume, I'm strumming less strings, which creates less volume, obviously, right? So as I do this, okay, now it doesn't just have to be beat 1. This is something that takes a while to learn how to really manipulate and utilize in your playing. But I could emphasize beat 2 or beat 3 or beat 4. And again, for me, I don't really consciously think about them as, beat 1, 2, 3, or 4. It's when I'm strumming, I hear in my head, doom, ba, da, 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 dun, da, 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 dum, some sort of rhythm that makes me want to accent, which is what strumming a little bit harder means, to create a different kind of dynamic. So if you watch me strum, I'm going to add some upstrums now. See how I can accent on a down, but I could also accent on an upstroke? I could just accent downs. But I can accent those ups as well, okay? So there's lots of really great ways that you can accent to create a cool dynamic with your playing. The next step is understanding strumming. When you strum, again, you'll notice I'm not strumming like a strumming pattern per se. I'm just kind of strumming. I'm just letting my arm move back and forth, and I miss the strings, and I come in and I hit the strings, and then I move away and I miss the strings, and I come back in and I hit the strings. And I'm just kind of exploring this, and for lack of a better term, I call it brainlessly. And I don't mean that negatively. I mean, I'm literally trying not to overanalyze what I'm doing. I'm trying to feel the motion. And then I'm just trying to move away and come back in. Now I can feel the beat because my body is feeling 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom, 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 boom. So I can keep track of where 1 is as I'm playing. but I'm not thinking 1E and a 2, and then I'm going to skip this, and I'm not thinking of it at all like that. I'm just moving away and coming back in. Now, if I take that and start adding in some of that accenting thing we talked about, and sometimes when I'm adding accenting, I think of it not as like this one beat is louder than the other ones, but it's more like a crescendo or a decrescendo, okay? It gets louder and then it gets softer. You see, so sometimes it builds and then it comes back. And so you can see how something like strumming can be taken so much for granted by people because they just learn how to play a strumming pattern and then that's it. But the strumming is what really sells whatever it is that you're trying to do, because the chord is the chord, and the chord doesn't, again, it doesn't make any sound on its own. It requires strumming, and as soon as you hit those strings, people are listening to you, right? If you're playing in front of somebody. And it's this element that makes you sound authentic or makes you sound robotic. Now, if this is new for you, you've got to go through the robotic stage, at least most of us do, where you've got to learn the fundamentals. You've got to start thinking about this and that. It's the way you think about rhythm. It's the way you think about strumming that really makes all the difference in the world when you're playing. And sometimes you do have to start with some strumming patterns, and that's okay. I mean, if you've got a down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down that you like to play, that's fine. Explore dynamics within the realm of that strumming pattern then. Down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, or down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, right? Different kinds of things like that. And then eventually you can start exploring leaving that pattern. Instead of always just playing down, 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 up, down, you start allowing it to be different. Down, down, up, down, 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 up, down. And again, I'm thinking of it while I'm playing, but it's actually working the other direction. I don't consciously sit and think about a strumming pattern and then my hand plays that pattern. I just hear music, I hear a beat, and then I start moving my hand to the music and create something that fits whatever I'm listening to. And scratching obviously is a really good idea too, is just learning how to create some scratching to that. Thank you for watching this video. If you're enjoying this video and you'd like to support the channel so we can continue to bring you more free content, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications and let me know what you think in the comments below. Also, if you'd like more in-depth training and courses, go to guitarzoom.com and get started for free today.